Hi, cast of His Dark Materials.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for coming by. Lynn, you were a big fan of this source material. Do you remember what it was that first impacted you or that you first loved about this story?
Well, I'm a big fantasy fan in general when it comes to literature, and I fell in love with the world. This is an incredible world Philip Pullman's created, and on top of that, in addition to all of the incredible action, it's also this gorgeous coming-of-age story. I actually have a song in the Heights that was based on a moment in the third book, in When the Sun Goes Down, when they're singing about I'll see you every night at the same time. It's based on a moment between Will and Lyra in the third book. I'm a longtime fan. So I was working on Mary Poppins when I met with Jane and Jack Thorne, and they said His Dark Materials, and I said yes before I even knew what the part was. So I was
PA.
PA, great, I'm in.
Yeah, you're playing a demon.
Yeah, exactly. Fantastic.
Ruth, Mrs. Coulter is
Yes.
a horribly mean person in the book.
Oh, misunderstood.
Well, how does that compare
she's
to the version of her
misunderstood.
in the series?
Well, no, she is a horrible person. She does horrible, horrific things. But what we've done, and Philip's given us license to dig a bit deeper into Mrs. Coulter. In the book, she's a bit like the White Queen from Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. She comes in and out, like you don't sort of get to know her. In this, we've got a bit more space to get to know her and see her on her own with her monkey. So you get to understand a bit why that relationship exists and why she is who she is, which is really lovely because she's so complex and she's so dark. But there's, like I say, it comes from somewhere, and it's and she redeems herself in the end. But the audience get to see that complication. And so that's really fun to play.
Daphne, your relationship Lyra's relationship between her and her demon is one of the most important in the book. What were your conversations like with producers in terms of how to portray that on screen? Because I imagine that's somewhat challenging.
We met up with the kid who's playing Pan beforehand. He's really nice. And it was just, when we filmed it, we had these puppets on set, which were like, so it wasn't like an eye line only. They made like this whole puppet of every demon. And mine hasn't really settled yet, so I had tons of them, and they had like really amazing puppeteers which would like bring them to life, and then you'd have the voice, so you'd hear the actual demon. And you're right, like it's a really beautiful relationship because you see it, the difference between Mrs. Coulter's relationship with the golden monkey to Lyra's relationship with Pan. It's like much closer, and that's when you really see Lyra's love towards herself because she takes such care of Pan. Like, massive difference.
I'm slightly abusive towards my monkey, so it suggests a sense of self-loathing. Yeah. But it's good. That's what's so fascinating about the books is this dynamic of your soul, which is manifest as an animal.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting dynamic. And if we didn't play into that, you'd miss a whole sort of other layer to the book and to these characters. So that's what we've enabled, the writer Jack has done, has kind of really brought to life. And certainly with our three characters, we have real relationships with our demons.
Yeah.
And they're real present.
Yeah, I think I have the chattiest relationship with my demon.
Definitely.
Because I'm so by myself all the time. So like me and my demon, it's like a buddy cop movie where the demon's like, you really shouldn't do that. Oh, you did it. So it's really fun.
But it's always like usually the case with the demon is that it's the responsible one of the two. So like I'll be running through a roof and I'll just be about to jump and Pal will be like, no, don't jump. I don't care, I'll jump. Or Lee will be about to do something and Hester will be like, don't do that, and then he does it. So it's always like
it's a bit of a Jiminy Cricket, bit of a conscience.
Yeah.
Dust is a big concept in the series, in the franchise. Who wants to describe what that is? Lynn, what's dust?
Every time the word's mentioned, I have to go like this, like twitch, as my character does.
And golden monkey.
Dust, I think, is basically it's sin, really, in a very generalised, kind of clear, sort of simple terms, right?
Yes, but
help me out.
Yeah. But if we describe too much, we would kind of spoil the whole show.
It's true, so we can't say too much.
But y'all who read the books, y'all know.
Yeah.
It's a mysterious thing that,
that we got to get into.
We've got to get into,
Fans of this material who were maybe let down by the movie, what do you think they'll be happiest about when they see the series?
we have so much time to tell the story.
Yeah.
We have so much time, and we get to go dig so deep on all the characters you love and the world you love, and really expand in places that give the story time to breathe. You know, so many times when you do any movie adaptation of anything, I'm going through it right now with Within the Heights. It's what do we have to cut because we only have 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and change.
Yeah, and it's such a long and like storyline based.
And these
book.
books are so rich that we get to
Yeah.
give attention to everything.
Yeah, and there's so many wonderful characters. I mean, when Lee's character comes in, you know, in the books, and you see his journey, you're like, wow, you get to explore that. You've got 8 hours per book to explore all these characters and the worlds. I mean, the worlds they travel through, and the themes are so rich and so philosophical and huge that we really get to sort of push all those buttons. And it's darker than the film. I mean, we really go into the darkness of what humans are capable of. You know?
Have you seen any footage yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing.
We've seen the trailer that we're showing today.
Oh,
It's great.
We acted with these incredible puppeteers who are our demons, and then
Yeah.
we got to see our demons. You know, and it's pretty thrilling. We had not gotten to act together
No.
in this season. Anyone who knows the book, we don't interact in the first book, and so we also got to see a sense of this scale that is larger than anything we experienced
Yeah.
on set. Except for maybe you. You were kind of
Yeah.
there for all of it.
Yeah, I
but
was
like
there
I got to see entire
7 months
worlds that I
straight.
didn't experience when watching the trailer. So the size of the thing is
Yeah.
really beautiful and overwhelming.